Dear soul, take a deep breath and allow your heart to slow down just a little. What you're about to hear may sound like a fairy tale, but it's not fiction. It's real, and it's unfolding in your life as we speak. Your angels have gathered around you today, whispering a truth so unexpected, so divine, that it might bring tears to your eyes. A proposal is on its way. Yes, a marriage proposal. But not from the person you've daydreamed about. Not the one you thought would finally see your worth. No, this one comes from a soul you never imagined would carry such profound love for you. A soul that's been silently orbiting your energy, watching you, learning about you, admiring the way you navigate this world. You see, sometimes the heart hides its truest desires, even from itself. And sometimes, the one meant to walk beside you isn't the one who made your heart race with uncertainty, but the one who made your spirit feel safe, seen, and empowered. This person, the last one you expected, is in a season of revelation. And you, dear soul, are at the center of it. They've watched you navigate storms without ever letting the winds define your direction. They've seen your light even in moments you felt invisible. And now, they can no longer keep silent. Because something has shifted inside them. A clarity. A calling. A knowing that you are the one they've been waiting for, even if they didn't realize it at first. Perhaps you've had brief conversations, maybe shared a few kind glances, or perhaps this person has been nothing more than a steady presence in the background of your daily life. But behind that calm exterior is a heart that's been slowly, quietly falling in love with you. The angels reveal that this person's soul recognizes yours, not just as a lover, but as a partner. As someone to build with, grow with, and create a sacred home filled with mutual devotion. Their love is not impulsive, it is rooted, thoughtful, and ready. They've wrestled with their feelings, tried to rationalize them, and even ignored them. After all, you weren't supposed to be the one. You didn't fit the mold they once imagined for themselves. But now, none of that matters. Because love, true love, doesn't follow plans. It follows resonance. And what they feel for you resonates on a soul level. The angels show me scenes of this person lying awake at night, replaying conversations in their mind, imagining a life with you. They've wondered what it would feel like to wake up next to you, to hear you laugh in their kitchen, to hold your hand in front of everyone and call you theirs. And now they're preparing, not just emotionally, but practically. They are aligning their life to make space for you, inviting you in not as a fleeting moment, but as a forever. You may have noticed small shifts. Perhaps they've been reaching out more, asking deeper questions, or offering help when you didn't ask. These are not random gestures. They are signs of a heart preparing to kneel, to offer something rare and eternal, a vow. And the timing? Divine. There's a reason you're hearing this now. The angels are preparing your heart too. They know you've been patient, that your love life hasn't always been easy, and that you've felt the sting of betrayal, the ache of loneliness, and the frustration of wondering when, if your turn would come. This is your sign that the wait wasn't in vain. That every tear you cried in silence was watering the roots of something extraordinary. This person, the one whose love you didn't see coming, is about to step forward. With words that have been practiced 100 times in silence. With eyes that will convey certainty. With a ring that promises not just a future, but honors your past. The angels urge you not to ignore this message. You might be tempted to brush it off. Perhaps because you can't imagine them feeling this way. Or maybe because your heart is still holding onto an old flame. But the divine doesn't waste energy. This message has found you for a reason. Take a moment. Contemplate it. Who has been a constant presence? Who makes you feel emotionally secure? Who listens without trying to fix things? Who remembers the little details? Who brings peace, not chaos? That's the soul. The one who's ready. The one who's been loving you quietly and is now preparing to express that love openly, permanently. The proposal may not be grand in scale, but it will be sincere. It might happen over coffee, or during a quiet walk, or under the stars. It won't involve theatrics. It will be about truth, commitment, and the courage to embark on a sacred chapter together. And when it happens, you will feel it deep within. This is not just about romance. It's about purpose. About being truly seen, finally chosen, not for how well you play a role, but for how authentically you show up. The angels say, do not underestimate what's coming. Do not miss the miracle because it's wrapped in humility. Open your heart to the possibility that love, real, grounded, spiritual love, might look different than you imagined, but better than you ever dreamed. You've always been worthy of this kind of love. Now, it's finally arriving. And it's closer than you think. Maybe you've heard this person speak highly of you to others. Perhaps you've noticed their gaze lingering a moment too long. Maybe they've asked about your past, your dreams, your beliefs. All subtle hints that beneath the surface of familiarity, a deeper intention has been developing. The angels are whispering now. Their heart has made a decision. They've seen enough, felt enough, imagined enough. And what once was a maybe is now a yes. This is not someone looking to play games. This is not someone chasing a fleeting crush. This is someone who has watched you through the seasons, seen you bloom, witnessed your storms, admired the way you rise again and again. They've fallen in love not with a fantasy, but with you. The real you. The one who cries when no one is looking. The one who forgives even when it hurts. The one who keeps giving, even when receiving feels uncertain. And because of that, their love feels like peace. Their presence brings clarity. With them, you don't have to shrink or pretend. With them, the silence is comfortable, not heavy. With them, you feel seen, even in your shadows. The proposal that's on its way is not about tradition, it's about alignment. This person doesn't just want to marry you, they want to build with you. Spiritually, emotionally, practically. They want a life where your dreams are not just tolerated, but championed. Where your voice is heard, your heart is cherished, and your soul has room to grow. And maybe the reason you never expected this person is that they were hiding in plain sight. The angels are often subtle in their orchestration. They guide hearts slowly and softly. And now, what was once just background music is becoming the melody of your life. There's something sacred about being chosen when you're not trying to impress. About being loved when you're simply being yourself. That's what this is. A divine affirmation that love doesn't require performance. It asks only for presence. Your angels are clearing the path. They're removing the final layers of fear, doubt, and hesitation. They are preparing this person's heart to speak, to offer, to risk. And they are preparing your heart to receive. This moment, this proposal, is more than just a romantic event. It's a spiritual awakening. A declaration that two souls are ready to come together in mutual healing, growth, and purpose. If your heart is racing right now, it's because it already knows. If your mind is trying to figure out who it could be, it's because the soul recognizes the energy even before a name comes to mind. You may soon find yourself in a conversation that feels ordinary, until it doesn't. A moment when this person stumbles over their words, their voice cracking slightly, their eyes filled with something deeper than friendship. And in that moment, they will say what your soul has longed to hear. I see my future with you. Will you build it with me? The angels want you to remember that you are not lucky, you are loved. Deeply. Fully. And this proposal? It's not a surprise to the heavens. It's been in the works for a long time. Every tear, every prayer, every lonely night was a thread in the tapestry that led to this moment. So when it happens, don't second guess it. Don't wait for the other shoe to drop. Don't compare it to past loves that didn't last. This is different. This is divine. And it's yours. Prepare yourself. Not with fear or doubt, but with faith. Open your heart. Clean your inner space. Make room for joy. Because it's coming. And it's closer than you've ever imagined. And when that ring slides onto your finger, whether it's in a quiet park, a candlelit room, or the passenger seat of their car, you'll feel something ancient awaken inside you. a knowing, a remembering, a sacred yes. Because your angels didn't just bring you love. They brought you home. You've carried so much. Quietly. With dignity. Hoping someone would see beyond what you show. And that's why now, more than ever, you need to hear this. With your heart, not your head. This isn't just a marriage proposal. It's not about a ring, a romantic gesture, or a special occasion. It's about something much deeper, the recognition of the love you've already offered so many times, and that is now coming back to you. Life has already made you wait too long. It's taught you to hold back, to not expect too much, to accept crumbs, often with a smile on your face. You've learned to protect yourself, to doubt things that seem too good to be true. But now, all of that is being put to the test. Because this new feeling, or perhaps not so new, is asking you for courage. Maybe you don't even realize how much you've impacted this person. How much your presence has left a mark, even in the details. Even when it seemed like no one was paying attention. But they were. And not just paying attention, they were feeling, connecting, getting involved without even trying. The proposal is coming, but it's accompanied by silence, by observation, by hesitation. Because the one behind this is not someone who acts on impulse. There's someone who thought long and hard before deciding. Someone who went through a real intense internal process. Who had to admit to themselves something they never imagined feeling for you. And you have every right to doubt. To think, is this real? After all, this isn't the person you expected. They aren't the one you idealized in so many nights of loneliness. But they are the one who truly sees you. Who respected your time, your pain, your way of being. And that says a lot. If there's something you need to remember now, it's that you don't need to prove anything. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. Not this time, not ever again. This love that's revealing itself has seen you through all your phases. And still, it chose to stay. Perhaps the hardest part is allowing that feeling to come in. Letting it take up space. Because, in a way, it seems too good. It feels unlikely. But that seems has more to do with fear than with reality. Have you ever wondered why you've been feeling such a strong intuition lately? Why you've been thinking more about certain moments, certain people, certain gestures? None of this is random. It's the energy shifting. It's someone's heart beating in sync with yours, even from afar. And yes, that person is coming. Not to impress you, but to claim you. To express what they feel in a way that's simple, yet genuine. It may not involve flowers, fancy dinners, or rehearsed speeches. But it will be true. And you will feel it. Right now, what the angels want is for you to be present. Not to take out on the new what the old caused. To look at this feeling with clear eyes. Because this love doesn't want to change you, doesn't want to convince you, doesn't want to rush you. It just wants to be there with you. And that is rare. You know when you spend so much time adjusting that you no longer notice what feels natural to you? You give in here, stay quiet there, trying to fit into things that weren't made for you. Until, at some point, you start to believe that perhaps the problem lies in what you feel. That wanting too much is asking too much. That loving the way you do is a mistake. But what if it isn't? What if everything they tried to cut out of you is exactly what is drawing this person closer now? What if what you thought was pushing them away is actually what made someone enchanted? It's not easy to think about. Because there have been years of hearing the opposite. From people who left, from relationships that didn't last, from promises that hung in the air. All of that leaves a mark. It creates resistance. It makes us skeptical even when the feeling comes pure. And here's the irony. Just when you had set aside the idea of being seen fully by someone, that's when it's about to happen. And from where you least expected it. This person who seemed like just part of your everyday life, someone who might have even gone unnoticed at times, is now looking at you differently. And not just with their eyes. It's with presence. With attention. with a calmness you weren't used to. No games. No back and forth that left you uncertain. It's more subtle, but also more certain. And it stirs you. Because this type of love doesn't come with grand promises. It arrives slowly, but with firmness. With a genuine desire to be present. And that's scary. Because you've learned to measure what you feel. Not to believe so easily. To hold back a little. But honestly, how long will you protect yourself from what feels good? Right now, there's someone rehearsing how to get closer. Not to impress. Not to trap you. But to offer you something you may have never experienced. Tranquility within a relationship. Sincerity. Someone who truly wants to know how you are, how your day went, what makes you smile, and what still hurts. And all of this comes from a place you didn't imagine. That's why the feeling is confusing. Because your heart recognizes it, but your mind tries to rationalize. It looks for logic, signs, certainties. And then comes the doubt, is this real? But deep down, you already know it is. Because you feel it. Because something inside you feels lighter just imagining it. You've made yourself small for far too long. You've accepted crumbs disguised as affection. You've held back tears with a polite smile. Now, all of that is being left behind. Because what's coming is different. Not because it's perfect, but because it's whole. This person doesn't want to fix you. They don't want you to change the way you speak, think, or feel. They don't expect you to hide your insecurities or pretend everything's okay when it's not. They just want to know you for who you truly are. No filters. No rush. With respect. And when they come into your life, you'll understand why you had to go through everything you did. Because, even without knowing it, all of that prepared you to recognize a love that doesn't require effort to exist. Just presence. Maybe it's not the story you wrote for yourself years ago. But perhaps it's better. Because this one has you being who you are, without fear. And it features someone who chooses that every single day. So if you've been feeling that something is about to happen, it's because it is. And it's not a coincidence. It's a consequence. Of who you are. Of what you project. And of everything you still deserve to experience. And yes, the proposal comes from someone you didn't expect. But isn't that the most divine surprise? That the heart meant for you isn't the loudest or most obvious, but the one that has always been quietly loving you from a distance? Maybe you haven't looked at them that way. Maybe you've been focused on someone else, someone who gave you half love, almost love, conditional affection. But the angels are redirecting your attention now. Because the one you didn't expect is the one who sees the real you. Who has been watching, not to judge, but to understand. Who has been silent not because they didn't care, but because they were making sure their heart was ready to honor yours. They took their time because they wanted to do this right. To show up fully. To offer you something real. And now they're ready. You'll notice the signs becoming more pronounced. A sudden shift in their energy. A new level of presence. A nervousness when they're around you. Maybe they'll invite you to dinner, to talk, to take a walk, to revisit an old memory. Pay attention. Because in the ordinary, the sacred is about to unfold. The angels say this is your time. No more breadcrumbs. No more chasing. No more wondering. Just love. Real. Steady. Sacred. Let it in. Because a marriage proposal is coming. And when it arrives, you will know everything in your life, every detour, every delay, every disappointment, was preparing you for this. For a love that finally feels like peace. For a home that finally feels like yours. For a promise that doesn't ask you to become someone else, but honors you exactly as you are. The last person you expected? They're about to become the one you'll never forget.